Let me guess, your child doesn't have just one speed. One moment, they're bouncing off the walls, shouting, spinning, climbing on furniture, melting down when something isn't going their way. And the next moment, they're completely zoned out and disconnected. Blank stare, can't follow instructions. It's like they're in the room but not really there. Now, you've tried the parenting books, the behavior and word charts, maybe in the meds, and still you're left asking, why is my child like this? And more importantly, how do I actually help them? Here's the truth. No one's telling you. What we label as ADHD or ADD is often just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath those labels are two very different nervous system patterns. We call them raging bulls and drunken bulls. So we can both make sense of the symptoms and the everyday challenges that come from them. Most importantly, also so we can make sense of what's going on with the nervous system dysregulation that's actually causing the problem. The raging bull ADHD type is stuck on, flooded with energy, impulsivity, and big emotions that can't be controlled, while the drunken bull ADHD type is often shut down, exhausted, foggy, slow to process, overwhelmed by everything around them. If you don't understand which kind of bull is charging through your child's brain, you'll keep chasing the wrong solutions. Say we're breaking down the wall, down the real neurological root causes of these behaviors. Most importantly, showing you how hope, healing, and true transformation are possible, all without dangerous drugs and medications. Because your child isn't broken, they don't need more labels. They need answers. They need understanding. They need a care plan that finally gets it right. So let's dive in. According to the CDC, an estimated 7 million children in the United States have been diagnosed with ADHD. Approximately 3.5 million children in the United States, or about 69% of those diagnosed with ADHD, are currently prescribed medication for the condition. So let's talk about the top 10 most common and concerning side effects of ADHD medication in kids. First thing is sleep problems and insomnia. Many kids have trouble falling or staying asleep, which worsens behavior and focus the next day. Appetite suppression. A significant decrease in hunger, often leading to weight loss or nutritional deficiencies over time. Emotional dysregulation or irritability. So increased mood swings, frustration, and even aggression, especially as the medication wears off, what we call a rebound effect. Anxiety and nervousness. Heightened worry, restlessness, or panic, even in kids without prior anxiety issues. Tics or involuntary movement. New or worsened motor or vocal tics can appear, which may or may not be reversible. Headaches. Persistent headaches are a frequent complaint, particularly when first starting meds or adjusting dosages. Stomach pain and nausea. Discomfort can make it hard for kids to focus or function normally during the day. Increased blood pressure and heart rate. Stimulants can raise cardiovascular markers, which might be risky in some children. Social withdrawal or zombie-like behavior. Some kids become emotionally flat, withdrawn, or lose their spark or personality. These medications do not address the root cause, which is often a stress, dysregulated nervous system, and can lead to a cycle of chasing symptoms, adjusting dosages, or laying more meds, sleep aids, or anxiety medications. So let's talk about the evolution of terminology of ADD and ADHD. Many parents don't realize that ADD is actually an outdated term that is no longer used in the official diagnostic manual, DSM-5. Today, all attention disorders fall under ADHD with 3 different presentations. Predominantly inattentive, formerly known as ADD, predominantly hyperactive impulsive, and a combined presentation. This change in terminology reflects our growing understanding that attention deficits and hyperactivity often co-occur and stem from the same neurological roots, even if they manifest differently in individual children. So this leads us to the raging bull versus the drunken bull analogy. Now, in our practice, we found it helpful to describe children with the hyperactive impulsivity presentation as having a raging bull tendency. Their minds are constantly racing, their bodies need to move, and they struggle to slow down during quiet, focused activities. Children with predominantly inattentive presentations, formerly ADD, demonstrate more of a drunken bull pattern. They appear spacey, forgetful, disorganized, and have difficulty staying on task or following directions. What's fascinating is how often these patterns evolve into each other over time. The hyperactive child can develop attention issues as they become frustrated with academic challenges, while the inattentive child can become hyperactive from the buildup of stress and anxiety of constantly struggling. With this background knowledge, let's dive into the true neurological roots of ADHD. At the core of both these presentations lies a complex interplay of neurological factors that impact a child's ability to regulate attention, behavior, and emotions. The three key elements we find most often are 1. Subluxation and sympathetic dominance. This involves misalignments, tension, and restricted mobility within this neurospinal system that interferes with how the brain and body communicate. These physical disruptions, often stemming from birth trauma or early injuries, create noise in the nervous system. 2. Nervous system dysregulation and dysautonomia, an imbalance. When subluxation persists, it throws the autonomic nervous system out of balance, often leaving children stuck in a heightened fight or flight response that makes calm focus nearly impossible. 3. Vagus nerve dysfunction. The vagus nerve is essentially for activating the rest and regulate parasympathetic response. When it's not functioning properly, children struggle to regulate emotions, attention, and behavior. The best part, we can find and measure your child's nervous system stress patterns and root causes with our neurological insight scans. So here's what every parent needs to know. Millions of kids today are either struggling with undiagnosed ADHD or have a diagnosis but are still stuck in the same cycle of symptoms, side effects, and little to no progress. That's because most ADHD tests and treatments plans stop at surface level symptoms. They label the child but don't look deeper into the real root cause. ADHD struggles begin in the brain and nervous system, and unless we measure what's happening under the surface, we miss the most important part. Our neurological insight scans don't just label, they measure and map out what's causing the chaos, so a customized drug-free care plan can be created to help your child calm the brain, regain focus, and thrive. Now, if you're tired of guessing, tired of meds that don't work, or tired of watching a child struggle without answers, it's time to look deeper. It's time to turn your child's struggle into a superpower. To learn more, comment below, visit the link in our bio, or send us a DM.